it by their coordinated attack on basic fairness. Fine. They have no idea what they've unleashed. This was just the beginning. Be me Abigail, 42, single mother raising my son Terry the right way. Terry just turned 18 last month, and I've been so proud of the young man I've shaped him into. Unlike other mothers who let their sons become part of the problem, I've made sure Terry understands how the world really works. Been taking him to therapy since he was 14, because I know how toxic masculinity can poison young minds. Dr. Sarah is amazing, really gets how society conditions boys to suppress their emotions and become oppressors. Terry's appointment is today at 3 p.m., like every Wednesday for the past 4 years. I'm in the kitchen making him a quinoa bowl because I refuse to let processed capitalist food poison his body. Hear his footsteps coming down the stairs, probably getting ready to leave soon. He walks into the kitchen looking tense, which immediately concerns me. The patriarchal structures in his school have probably been weighing on him again. Terry, sweetie, your appointment is in an hour. Did you want to talk about anything beforehand? He stops and just stares at me for a moment. There's something different in his expression today. Almost angry. Actually, Mom, I'm not going to therapy anymore. I nearly dropped the quinoa bowl. What did he just say? What do you mean you're not going? Terry, we've discussed this. Mental health is crucial, especially for young men who... I'm 18 now. I can make my own decisions about this stuff. His voice has this edge to it that I've never heard before. Clearly something has happened at school or with his friend group. Those toxic male influences are finally starting to show. Honey, I understand you feel grown up now, but therapy isn't something you just stop because you feel like it. Dr. Sarah has been helping you process. Process what exactly? Process how everything wrong in my life is because of some invisible system? He's raising his voice now, and I can see the anger building. This is exactly what Dr. Sarah and I have been trying to prevent. The masculine rage that society teaches boys is acceptable. Terry, please lower your voice. Let's sit down and talk about this rationally. No, I'm done talking rationally about irrational things. My heart is starting to race because I can see he's been influenced by something. Probably those online spaces where young men get radicalized. What's brought this on? Has someone been telling you that therapy is weak? Because that's exactly the kind of toxic messaging. Everything is toxic messaging to you. Everything is the patriarchy or society or some system designed to oppress people. He's actually yelling now, and I've never seen him like this. Something is seriously wrong, and I need to get him back to Dr. Sarah immediately. Terry, you're clearly upset about something deeper here. This kind of sudden rebellion against help is actually a symptom of what? Of me finally realizing that you've been the problem this whole time? The words hit me like a physical blow. Did my own son just say I was the problem? After everything I've sacrificed to raise him with consciousness and awareness, excuse me? After everything I've done to protect you from becoming another toxic male? Protect me? You've been suffocating me. Every problem I've ever had, you blame on society, instead of actually helping me deal with it. I can feel my own anger rising now because this is so unfair. I've dedicated my entire life to making sure he doesn't become part of the oppression machine. I have helped you deal with it. I've given you every tool to understand how these systems work. What systems, Mum? The system where I can't make friends because you've convinced me that every social interaction is about power dynamics? He's pacing now, and his face is red with anger. The system where I can't date anyone because you've taught me that attraction is just internalized misogyny? This is getting out of hand, and I need to regain control of this conversation. Terry, you're obviously going through something right now, and lashing out at the person who's tried to educate you is exactly how patriarchal conditioning works. There it is again. It's never just me having feelings or opinions. It's always patriarchal conditioning. He slams his hand on the counter, and I actually jump. I've never seen him this aggressive, and it's honestly frightening. You want to know what my biggest problem is? It's not society. It's not the patriarchy. It's not toxic masculinity. He's looking directly at me now, with pure fury in his eyes. My biggest problem is that my mother has spent my entire life convincing me that I'm either a victim or a potential oppressor, and never just a person. I can feel tears starting to form because this is so painful to hear. After all the sacrifice, all the consciousness raising, all the protection I've provided. Terry, you don't understand what I've saved you from. The world is full of systems designed to turn young men into what? Into people who can function normally? Into people who don't analyze every human interaction through the lens of oppression? This is spiraling completely out of control. I need to call Dr. Sarah immediately because this is obviously a breakdown. You clearly need professional help right now. I'm calling Dr. Sarah. Don't you dare call her. I'm done with therapy. I'm done with your constant analysis of everything. And I'm done pretending that your worldview makes any sense. He's moving toward the door now, and I'm starting to panic. Terry, please don't leave while you're this upset. We can work through this. Work through this? Like we've worked through everything else by blaming it on society? I'm following him to the front door because I can't let him leave like this. When you couldn't make the basketball team, you told me it was because coaches favor traditionally masculine players instead of helping me get better. He's putting on his jacket while he's talking, and I'm getting more desperate. When Sarah Martinez wouldn't date me, you said it was because she'd been conditioned to prefer toxic masculinity instead of acknowledging that maybe she just wasn't interested. These examples are completely missing the point and show how much deprogramming he needs. Terry, those are real systemic issues that affect young men. I was trying to help you see the bigger picture. The bigger picture? The bigger picture is that I'm 18 years old and I can't handle basic life challenges because you've taught me that everything is someone else's fault. He opens the front door and I'm starting to lose it completely. This cannot be happening after everything I've invested in raising him correctly. Where are you going? You can't just run away from difficult conversations. I'm going to Dad's house. My ex-husband Gerald, who has been completely useless in Terry's development. Gerald, who represents everything wrong with traditional masculinity. Your father doesn't understand these issues the way I do. He'll just reinforce all the harmful patterns. Maybe harmful patterns are better than no patterns at all. Terry turns around, and his face is full of pain and anger. At least Dad lets me fail without explaining how my failure is society's fault. I can feel my chest getting tight, and my breathing becoming shallow. This is exactly the kind of moment Dr. Sarah warned me about, when the patriarchal programming tries to reassert itself. Terry, please come back inside. You're hurting right now, and making decisions based on pain. I'm making decisions based on finally understanding that you've been the source of my pain. He takes a step back toward me, and I think maybe he's reconsidering, but his expression just gets angrier. You want to know what I figured out? You don't actually care about helping me. You care about being right about your theories. That accusation is so unfair I can barely process it. Everything I've done has been about helping him navigate a difficult world. That's not true. Every choice I've made has been about protecting you and educating you. Protecting me from what? From learning how to solve my own problems? From taking responsibility for my own life? I can feel my voice getting higher as the stress builds. From becoming another man who contributes to the oppression of others. There it is. You'd rather have a son who can't function than a son who might not share your exact worldview. This conversation has become completely irrational. He's clearly been influenced by something or someone. Who have you been talking to? Because this sudden change doesn't happen in a vacuum. I've been talking to reality, Mom. I've been talking to the part of my brain that you've been trying to suppress for 4 years. He starts walking down the driveway, and I'm following him. Terry, please don't do this. Don't throw away all the progress we've made. What progress? Progress toward what? He stops and turns around one more time. Being unable to talk to girls without wondering if I'm perpetuating harm? Being afraid to compete at anything because competition is supposedly toxic? Being paralyzed by the thought that every emotion I have is either patriarchal conditioning or internalized oppression? These are the exact conversations we need to be having in therapy. This is why stopping now is so dangerous. These are complex issues that require professional guidance to work through properly. No, they're simple issues that you've made complex by filtering everything through your ideology. I can feel my control of this situation slipping away completely. My heart is racing, and I'm starting to feel dizzy. Terry, you're my son, and I love you, which is why I can't let you make this mistake. The mistake isn't stopping therapy. The mistake was starting it in the first place. He gets to his car, and I realize I might actually lose him if I don't fix this right now. You can't just leave. We need to process this properly. There's that word again. Process. Everything has to be processed instead of just lived. He opens his car door, and I'm starting to feel genuine panic. This is my worst nightmare coming true. Terry, if you leave now, you're proving that you can't handle difficult emotions without running away. And if I stay, I'm proving that I can't make decisions without your approval. The panic is turning into something bigger now. I can feel my chest getting tight and my vision starting to blur. You don't understand what you're doing. You don't understand how the world really works. I understand exactly what I'm doing. I'm choosing to live my life instead of analyzing it to death. He gets in the car and starts the engine. I'm standing in my driveway watching my son drive away. All the work, all the sacrifice, all the consciousness raising, destroyed by whatever toxic influence has gotten to him. I stumble back into the house and my legs feel weak. My hands are shaking as I reach for my phone to call Dr. Sarah. This is an emergency and she needs to know what's happened. The phone rings twice before she picks up. Dr. Sarah? It's Abigail. We have a serious problem. What's going on, Abigail? Terry just had a complete breakdown. He says he's quitting therapy and he's blaming me for everything. I can hear my voice getting higher and more frantic. He's been completely turned against everything we've worked for. Someone has gotten to him. Slow down, Abigail. Tell me exactly what happened. He said I'm the problem, not society. He said I've been suffocating him, he said. I can't even repeat some of the things he said. They were so hurtful and showed how completely he's been manipulated. He said he'd rather fail on his own than succeed with my help. I see. And how are you feeling right now? How am I feeling? I'm devastated. 4 years of work just destroyed by whatever toxic messaging he's been exposed to. I'm pacing around my living room now, and I can feel my heart pounding. Dr. Sarah, you have to help me fix this. You have to call him. Abigail, Terry is 18 now. I can't call him without his consent. This answer is completely unacceptable. She doesn't understand the urgency of this situation. But this is exactly the kind of crisis we've been trying to prevent. This is the patriarchal backlash we talked about. I understand you're upset, but we need to respect Terry's autonomy here. His autonomy? His autonomy is being compromised by toxic influences. I can feel my breathing getting faster and my voice getting louder. Dr. Sarah, you don't understand. He's going to his father's house. Gerald will undo everything we've accomplished. Abigail.